Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Non-Yarn Snobs. My name is Anna, and I'm coming at you from somewhere in central Arkansas. You may be wondering why we're called Two Non-Yarn Snobs when there's only one of us here. Well, thanks to the coronavirus, Sabrena and I have decided that because I am immunocompromised, and so is she, and so is her husband, that we would be better off to podcast separately until all this mess blows over. Now then, how long will that take? Who knows how long that'll take. Um, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot short podcasts, show you what we've been working on, and say hi to one another. Hi, Sabrena. Um, you can find me on Ravelry. I am Joey's Rib. That's JoeYsRib. You can find us on Instagram. We are Two Non-Yarn Snobs, and you can email us at twononyarnsnobs@gmail.com. Sabrena is JD's girl, JDSGIRL, on Ravelry. Excuse me, sorry. I have allergies, and the Bradford pears they're starting to play out here in Arkansas. But we've had the crocus, we've had jonquils, we've had yellow forsythia. My yellow forsythia is still in bloom. Some jonquils are still in bloom. Bradford pears are finally playing out, but it's the Bradford pears that get me. So if I sound sinusy or whatever, that's why. And I'm sorry for the jostling. I'm shooting this on my new Kindle, and it's a little heavy. Yeah. Anyway, uh, I hope there's good sound quality. We'll see. So what have I been working on? Oh yeah, this is a podcast about knitting, crocheting. Sometimes there's spinning. Sometimes there's weaving. You never know what we'll get into. Now, why do we call ourselves Two Non-Yarn Snobs? Because Sabrena and I believe that there is a yarn for every person, place, and time. Now then, do I want to knit or crochet with homespun with Lion Brand homespun? No. Would Sabrena weave with it? Yes. So there is a use for every yarn out there. Sabrena doesn't particularly like Karen Simply Soft. I kind of like working with it sometimes, especially the newer Simply Soft, because the older stuff would scream at you when I crocheted with it, and I'm glad that they have changed their formula or whatever. I'm sitting in my car because I am babysitting this week. Thanks to coronavirus, schools in Arkansas are out at least until April 17th, I believe. I have a feeling that they may extend that again. It was March 30th, but I have a feeling that they may be extending it again. We here in Arkansas have a nursing home down in Little Rock that had, don't quote me, I want to say like 43 people. 6 staff members, and the rest were residents that tested positive for the corona. Now, I'm curious, my friend Krista, y'all have heard me talk about her. She's like my kid. Um, but she thinks that, she and I were sick back along October, November, have the exact same symptoms as corona. But neither one of us went to the doctor for it. And we still have a cough. Mine is more productive than hers, I think. I don't know. But at any rate, it could be that we've had it. Who knows? But Sabrena and I agreed that we don't need to, because the grooming shop is still open and she's having to work every day. We agreed that neither one of us needs to bring the corona cooties into each other. So it's best if we podcast separately for now, which I feel like I'm missing my right arm, really, trying to do this. So okay, let's talk admin stuff. Well, first off, um, we are uh, co-hosting a spring scrap along. That's our hashtag is spring scrap along. Uh, make anything from your scrap basket. At least 50% of your project needs to be scraps. You can use full skeins as long as it is less than, no more than 50% of your project. You don't have to go out and buy more yarn if you can get away with it. Um, use what's in your stash. And I think a lot of us, with this corona and with trying to quarantine ourselves in place, I think a lot of us are doing that. We're turning toward our stash and seeing what we can come up with. Um, so spring scrap along. The way to enter is on our Ravelry group, and on Instagram. Use the hashtag spring scrap along. We will draw prizes from Sabrena and I will draw prizes from both Ravelry and Instagram. Sabrena will be making some project bags, and we'll have some handmade soaps and some yarn and some other goodies. But anyway, you have until May 31st. I will be drawing the winners on June the 1st. And we are co-hosting this with Homemade with Love by Loretta and Blaine. They are drawing a winner from their Facebook group. So you have 3 chances of winning. Double dipping is welcome. Whips are welcome. Um, Triple dipping is welcome. I know that Flame and Fiber are having a stash cow and they are co-hosting their stash cow with Knitting or Death with Leslie over at the Not Quite Enough Yarn podcast. So Barbara and Leslie are both hosting a stash cow. And hey, scraps are in your stash, and they welcome double dipping as well. So hey, wherever you can enter, enter. Um, so that's what we're doing for the scrap along. Now then, we are also co-hosting with Homemade with Love by Loretta and Blaine a scraffle. That's the word that Loretta has coined for this. There is Sunset Creations is a podcast, and her name, I believe, is Diane, and she has a medical need. So Loretta had the idea of doing a raffle to help provide that medical need. Hang on, I think somebody's pulling up. It's not for me. No matter who it is, it's not for me. But anyway, so Blaine is making a nearly 3-foot long scrapple is what she's calling it. It is a amigurumi animal made out of scraps of burlap blanket. So it will be soft and cuddly and cushy and just wonderful. And then Sabrena decided to donate a poncho to be raffled off. So if you'll go to our Instagram and look at poncho number 2, that is what I've labeled it. It's gorgeous. And you can go look at our last episode of our podcast and you can see about how big it is. The fringe on it is smaller than the one in that podcast. That is poncho number 1 in that podcast. But it's the same basic size. So there's that. And then another lady who is on Loretta and Blaine's Facebook group. Got permission from Loretta to post her project bags that she sells, and she has donated 2 project bags to the scraffle. Tickets are $5 each, I think, or 6 for $25. I think that's right. You can PayPal Loretta, so go over to Homemade with Love by Loretta and Blaine. Go over to their channel, and all her information and all the rules and everything is in her update about the scraffle. Okay, next. I think that's all the... Somebody keeps backing up, going forward. I don't know who it is. Oh, they may be coming out to 10 cows. Okay. So anyway, I'm at Krista's because, with school being out, kids need a babysitter. And since they're my godchildren, I got volunteered. Well, what else am I going to do? But sit at home and knit or crochet with my dogs all over me. Okay, so I'm going to show a finished object. And my finished object, it's huge, y'all. It's huge. Whoops. Ta-da. I got Mark's socks done. Anyway, I wanted to show them. This is how Sabrena and I figured out that we needed to go ahead and podcast separately for right now. I sent her a text message saying I'm going to do a short little podcast and send that and put out and, show Mark socks so that way I can get them shipped out. Now, they don't fit on the blockers all that great, but that's all right. These are just to show that I got them finished. Anyway, so those are done. I'm going to get those shipped out hopefully sometime this week. I go home tomorrow, and I'll be home Wednesday and Thursday, so hopefully on Wednesday I can get those shipped out. Now then, what have I been working on? If you are a loyal viewer, thank you for one thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you are not a subscriber, thank you for tuning in. Sorry, I keep looking over here because that's where my face is, and I'm gotta look at the camera, right? Okay. But thank you for tuning in, but anyway, if you watched our first, I want to say episode, maybe it was our second episode. I'm sorry, I'm untangling yarn. You saw that I started these socks. And they're gorgeous. They're a whole lot brighter than this. I'm losing daylight. Anyway, House of Casual Fashion Queen is the body of the sock. It's the Gaia colorway, Gaia. And I'm on the heel flap of this one. I got both of them down to where I'm ready to do the heel flap. But the heels, toes, and gussets are in this blue, which I know you can't see because, again, I'm losing daylight. But you've seen this blue before. I had it in another pair of socks. It's Cascade 220 Heritage sock. It may not be 220, but anyway, it's Cascade Heritage sock. And I don't recall the colorway. My apologies. But they're living in my Dia de los Muertos Sugar Skulls bag. Z would like that bag. Zelda, NRJ3. She would like my bag. I'm doing them on Chalgu 9-inch circs in the 2 point. These are size 2s. So these are 2.75 mil. And I'm using the double points to do the heel flap, and I also use double points to do the toes. But otherwise, I use the 9-inch circ for the rest of the sock. Now, why do I use... so I use Chalgus. the double points and the 9-inch circs of Chow Goo, and I'll tell you why I use the same brand. It's because a 2.75 mil at Chow Goo may not be a 2.75 mil at, say, Nip Hicks or Susan Bates or Clover or whoever you get your double points from. So sorry, I know I'm jostling. I apologize. So I like to use the same brand because I feel like even if it's whether it's a circular or a double point, then it is the same size. They're all milled the same size. Um, Also, I use the Chow Goo 9-inch as opposed to the Denise 9-inch, or I think Clover makes a 9-inch. Well, anyway, I used the Chow Goo because I read a review, and the lady that did the review, I think it was a lady, I'm not absolutely positive. She bought both Chow Goo and Denise 9-inch circs, and she said she liked the Chow Goo better because the needle portion of the circular, this portion was just a few millimeters longer than Denise, which made it easier to manipulate. It may just be 2 or 3 millimeters, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, and it's not. But if you've got great big hands, every little millimeter counts. So that's why I chose Chow Goo. And I have their interchangeables. Um, I have 2 sets of their interchangeables, and I'm thinking about buying a third because, really, I should just finish up projects or frog them. Um, but they're in projects that I'm not ready to finish. So anyway, I need to get that done. Um, I think that's all I have to show and tell. Uh, so y'all stay sane. Corona won't last forever. They'll somebody will find the medication that works. And if it's a medication that fights cystic fibrosis, because everything I've heard is that the phlegm is super thick, like cystic fibrosis. So why not use a medication that works for, and I know the medications for cystic fibrosis don't work for everybody, but I feel like, why not try it? What's the worst that can happen? You know, I mean, you may find this is what needs to happen, needs to be used. But at any rate, stay sane. Don't hoard the toilet paper. Don't hoard alcohol wipes. I went to Walmart the other day to get diabetic testing supplies. Okay, well, alcohol wipes are one of the things that I need. They were cleaned out. Not a bottle of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, not a bottle of hand sanitizer, not a single box of alcohol wipes anywhere. And normally, my Walmart is overstocked in alcohol wipes. But they're $1 a box, and the things are only like 1 inch by 2 inches. What are you going to sanitize with that? Oh well, that's my rant for the day. Okay. I hope y'all have a great day. Really. And if you're feeling sickly, please stay home. Don't go out. Go to your doctor if you need to, and God help healthcare workers, EMS, the people that do not have a choice about going to work. And you parents, okay, here's one thing before I go. You parents that are suddenly having to homeschool, here's a little tidbit. Number one, y'all are doing a great job, okay? Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. You're doing a fantastic job because what you're showing your kids is that you have to try. So what is it that Yoda says? Try or try not. Anyway, you're showing your kids that you've got to give the old college try, right? You may not know how to do Common Core math, and if you can't do Common Core math, that's fine. Teach your kids carry the one math. Lastly, Khan Academy, KHAN Academy, is a channel here on YouTube, and he explains in depth so you can understand. So you back there in the back that didn't go to college, that barely got out of high school, he explains it so that you can understand. So you and your kid turn on Khan Academy, put in what you're looking for, play the videos. I'm telling you, it helped me through microbiology. I don't remember anything about microbiology except go to Khan Academy. Try it out. Check it out. It can only help, right? If not, you might learn something else. He's got a whole lot of topics. Check it out. Don't hoard toilet paper or alcohol wipes. Y'all have a good day. Just stay calm. Wash your hands. Have a great day. Bye.